Greetings and salutation! Welcome to a brand new series. I am going to be managing my favourite team, Liverpool. And we're actually going to win the league for the first time in 70 million years. I love Liverpool. Supported them all my life. I thought about time because I did have the crew save going on, but nobody was really watching it. It didn't seem that interesting. People weren't really commenting on it. So I thought I'd replace the crew save. I still have that, so if anybody's desperate, I can carry that on as well. But I really wanted to do a Liverpool save. And so that's what we're going to start. So today, what we're going to do is no games today, but I'm just going to go through exactly what I've done in pre-season. Talk you through the transfers, ins and outs, and all that sort of stuff. I won't go through training. I've hired new staff, quite a lot of new staff and stuff like that, but, boring shit that nobody wants to see. Got all that done. One of the aspects I wanted to concentrate on, because I recently did a series of 6 videos just talking about for some of my favourite young players in their Wonder Kids videos for various different positions. Some of them are not necessarily the best players, but it's more to do with players I like. Slightly less obvious Wonder Kids than people know, but I thought I'll use some of those names and sign really good youngsters that people know about in FM16. So we're going to have a look at those and see during this save to see how well they really do develop with a bit of nurturing and getting plenty of game time and such. So let's take you straight into the transfers. First off, we're going to look at the outs, bunch of loans. Got rid of Dejan Lovren. Took a bit of a loss on him. As you can see, 4.4 million. Yeah, that's probably his true value. I feel I just wanted him off the books more than anything. Just because I dislike him, to be honest. I'm just about to get rid of Kolo Toure as well. He's just on his way for a free. Because he's on a high wage, so just get him off the books, really. And that was it, really. So the players I've bought in, so I wanted to sort of keep the main team as a whole, and then use my money, I think it's 16 million you start with, to buy some of the best youth talents in the world, and then bring them in. Some of them aren't ready to start games and aren't ready to play for the first team, so I thought I'll keep the main team together, bring in some of the best youth players, try and develop them, try and involve them in the games and stuff. So here we go. First off, we have Christian Ajar. I'm going to murder names, so just live with it. Central midfielder, can play pretty much along the whole of the spine of the team. But I would say his sort of best positions are sort of central midfield. He's just a quality player, 17 years old, and he cost 1 million. He's going to be an absolute beast. He's staying at the club. I'm not going to loan him out because I think he's good enough to give him some game time as sub appearances, League Cups and stuff like that. Definitely, and he's just going to obviously turn out to be an absolute beast. Places shots, dictates tempo, avoids using weak foot, dives into tackle. Okay, loves a tackle. Next up, we have Fedi. This is another central midfielder. 18 years old, ridiculously good mentals, absolute beastly mentals. Pretty good all round. He's slightly or more on the sort of defensive side, rather than going forward. I purchased him for 1.8 million with the caveat that I loan him back to Racing for the season, which is fine. He's not ready for first team, and Christian Ajar is probably a little bit more suited, just sort of jumping straight in there. But as you can see, he's pretty beastly. He should do well. Next up, we have a favourite of this year's FM. He's the new Balanta. It's Emmanuel centre back, 19 years old, Argentinian, 1 cap for Argentina. Just an absolute quality young defender. No weaknesses in his game. Nothing particularly outstanding, but he's going to grow to be something absolutely special. There was a lot of big clubs after him. A lot of people have signed him in FM, so I thought I'd give him a shot myself. I think I signed him for 4 million. He was my most expensive transfer. Next up, we have Rafik Zekhinini. Jesus Christ. From ODD. 17-year-old Norwegian. As you can see, he's a winger by trade. Also plays up front, but not so much really. And just absolutely quality. Lots of flair, determination, decent work rate. He's going to improve really well. Okay physicals for a 17-year-old. Is sort of naturally his stamina and strength and balance will go up a little bit as he ages. But he's really pacey already. I think he's going to be a great player. We signed him for £1.4 million. Still sort of not sure if I'm going to keep him at the club this season or not. Next up, we have Abdul Lahat Diakite. He's from one of my videos. Another central midfielder, can also play defensive midfield. I'll go through my tactics shortly. He's more attacking side though, definitely. I think I do play a box-to-box midfielder, and that's what I'm hoping to sort of train him as. He's only 16, guys. That's pretty decent stats for a 16-year-old. He cost me $875,000. That was the compensation because I think he was on a youth contract. And lastly, I wanted to get a goalkeeper. And here he is. This is a 19-year-old Serbian. He cost me quite a bit of money, 3.6. Failed to get his work permit, but I've loaned him out for a season. This is quite a bit more of a punt, really. I wanted to try and get a hot prospect in every position, but the goalkeeper I wanted just didn't want to come, even though I could get him quite cheap, which was really annoying. But it's just a punt. I'm not sure if he's going to work out, but we've got Minile. It's not that much better. But hopefully once he gets his work permit in a season or so, that we should be able to get him in at least as a backup player. But I just wanted to get a mix of positions, really. The only sort of position I didn't really go for was strikers because we're doing so well at them. We've got Diakite, which... not Diakite. Zecchini, who's going to be playing up front. And that's it, really. So what we've done with them is that Rakovic has gone to Auxerre to get his work permit. I loaned out Divock Origi because just for a season, because we're sort of, I'll show you the tactic, but you'll see why. And Fedi's gone back to racing as part of his loan deal. So let's go to tactics next. So what I was trying to sort of, it's a bit of a weird one. This is what I was trying to emulate was something that I watched last weekend, which was Liverpool destroying Man City. And I wanted to kind of almost emulate that with a bit of a twist and stuff. So this is the formation we're going to go with. So whereas the Man City formation was against Man City was there was 3 forwards and they were all kind of similar and all rotating. I did want to play, because I want to make use of Benteke and Sturridge, who are more sort of standard striker. You know, play better at sort of standard striking positions, like sort of false nines and such. That I thought that would work really well. And then I'm currently retraining both Firmino and Coutinho to be alongside him as a false 9. With the instruction that they can drop into channels. I'm trying to play an expressive sort of fluid game where people can move about. We've got a flat back 4, but with quite attacking fullbacks, because we've got 2 great attacking fullbacks in Moreno and Klein. A defensive midfielder in Lucas Leiva. I've currently got him just as a standard defensive midfielder, but we can play with these positions are going to be sort of played with. We have a box-to-box midfielder, which is basically going to be Henderson when he gets back from injury, starts the game out for a few months. That will be his position. And then we'll have an advanced playmaker who's currently got Milner in there, but can also be Allen, Christopher AR. I think it's AR, isn't it? It's not AJ. You don't pronounce the J. AR. Christopher is also suited to that position, so that's where we'll try and work him. And then up front, if you think about it, what we have is we've got Daniel Sturridge and Danny Ings also that can play sort of forward. But then Lallana and Jordan Ibe are both players that are very attacking wingers. And so they're both being trained, Lallana and Ibe, to play as false 9s as well. So we'll have that sort of really good group of players to do the sort of rotational aspect of it. This might just go horribly wrong. Who knows? It's kind of an experiment, but we'll see. We're going to play with a controlling mentality on a fluid, because we want to just the players, hopefully intelligent enough to, switch positions and move around. We're going to play through the middle a bit more, as you'd expect. We're going to play a higher tempo game, fairly narrow. The fullbacks hopefully will just sort of be the ones pushing on and providing the width. We want to, as with Jurgen Klopp, I want to use tighter marking and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Just a real close down. And we've got closing down on more. We really want to not give them any time on the ball whatsoever. That's the goal. The rest of it is pretty sort of standard stuff. It's mixed passing. I didn't want to go too short of passing, but I don't mind sort of variety. Retain possession, I'm not sure about. We'll see that. His style is a bit less of a retention, based game. It's more, closing down, winning the ball back, and then going quickly, sort of thing. So it might actually be best suited to a counter-attacking team. But I want to start with control, just because I think we've got the team to be able to do that, and then be more expressive, so the players again goes with the fluid, so that they'll be able to float around, do their own thing. But all of these things, this is pre-season stuff, so all of these things can and probably will be changed as we go into the season. And I think that so we're not very competent. Nobody knows how to play this formation because it's quite alien. We've got them working on the match tactics. So it will take a few games of the season to sort of come to fruition. Pre-season, I just let my assistant do all that jobbies. Apart from randomly, we had to play the MLS All-Stars because that isn't a friendly, apparently, which we won on penalties. So we've got let's have a look at our sort of start. We've got Crystal Palace and Villa. That's a nice couple of decent games. They're both away, but I think they're both definitely winnable. And then shortly after, we've got Arsenal and then Sunderland and Chelsea. So two of the big games. And then obviously we've got the Europa League coming up. As for the under-21s, Jordan Ives playing. Zucchini's there. I will actually move him into the senior squad and just have him, so I can keep an eye on him, and then just have him playing for the under-21s for 90 minutes. Under-18s, Diakite's in there at the moment, our new signing, just to get some game time, and we'll keep an eye on his development. We'll probably try and find him a tutor. Finances wise, we've got 44 million in the bank. I've used pretty much all of my transfer budget, almost 3 million left. So that does give me a little something in January if I find another youngster that I want to bring in. That's what I want to kind of concentrate on this game, is to bring in sort of these top youngsters and regens when they come through. The club want me to achieve this season. Let's have a look in the MLS All-Stars game. I don't care about, but we did win it. Premier League. Okay, Champions League. It's going to be tricky. There's a lot of good teams now in the Premiership. There's 6 or 7 really good teams that will challenge for the Champions League. FA Cup semi-final. League Cup don't care. And the Europa League, they don't care. Look, they're saying not even get beyond the group stage. So the league is the priority, but it's going to be a difficult shift. It's going to be, especially because if you think about it, we haven't actually made that many changes to our, first team, especially this first season. It's pretty much the same team. The only people that really make a difference is we've got Christopher Ayar and Mamana on the bench. Another great youngster we got is Joe Gomez. I think he's going to be an absolute monster as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops. Obviously Jordan Ibe, described as a wonder kid. This guy is going to be absolutely beastie, but let's see how he does at a false 9 position. It'll be interesting to see. And that's about it. I think that pretty much sort of sums up the first episode. So I'll put this up this evening, and we'll get playing. I'm just about to put up the final game of the season on our lead save, which will be the playoff final, which is going to be exciting. So you'll have to see how that goes. Thank you for... And somebody's decided to start washing their car in -3 degrees outside, it feels like. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Please hit the like button. It really helps us YouTubers get found. If you just like it, other people might find me, and that's fantastic. That's a really good way of supporting it. And obviously subscribe if you're new, because that's amazing. We're trying to get up to 100 subscribers. I think we're 9 off. So hopefully in the next few days we'll get up to 100. And I will see you next episode. Love you all. Bye-bye.